Hey YouTube, Alex here. This morning I am going to be making some samples for my live set, specifically for performance on More Kicks Than Friends, which is Ned Rush's Patreon media or curated multimedia performance stream that happens on his Discord, I think, or on his Patreon. So Ned Rush very kindly invited me to be on it. So I've been putting together some sound. I did some breaks the other day, and I'm actually going to be working on some chords this morning, I think, trying to make some interesting chord progressions or do some generative stuff and then record them. I realise it's 20 to 9 on Sunday morning, which is probably quite early for some people. And yeah, well, enjoy watching this back later on in the day, or perhaps in the following week. I hope you get something useful from it. So I was experimenting with generative stuff for analog, like coming up with chord. So it's quite easy to kind of generate chords using. I'm going to put in the scale first, but using the chord function, just something like a triad, maybe a tenth, which I really love as an interval as well. I think that's a tenth. So tenth is like the third above the note you're playing, an octave above, and it just gives a really, you hear it in dance music all the time. It's probably better demonstrated, isn't it? Turn you off, sorry. So that's a third, major third, and then that's the same above. Yeah, you hear that kind of thing, which is a tenth, an interval of a tenth. So it's the third above that note, an octave above, and you hear it in like Radiohead. Tom York does that all the time on the guitar with his chord progressions. Yeah, tenths. So I'm going to turn on I'm going to have this in. I'm kind of following what I created on stream the other day, so maybe we'll pull in some of those samples. I did this yesterday when I was kind of testing it out. It's got a bit of like context. So this is slightly off. I think I did it at 164. I had the same problem yesterday. So if you know the tempo you recorded at something at, you can warp it and crop that. I think I'll use texture mode because it's quite rich in material. For complex polyphony, yeah, I'd say that's that. So I want to create some chords that kind of follow that kind of idea, and of being like maybe following a different rhythm, so kind of a counter rhythm to the bass. So maybe they're doing just a different pattern, and quite an easy way to do that. We can worry about the exact notes once we've got it running. So we're in A minor, yeah, nice and simple. That's all the white keys, starting on A. So we've got our chord on there already and the scale. I think I'll keep it. Scale's wrong there though, so let's get MIDI, scale, minor. And I'm riffing a bit on Ned Rush did a really good like make your own IDM sample pack, and well, there's lots of ways to do this. You know, I could be playing chords in, just kind of following that chord progression. I can think of something that works, you know. Something like that. You know, you could play something like that, but I'm after something a bit more interesting with some more interesting intervals and some chants, perhaps, stuff happening. So yeah, we've got our chord happening there, and that's just gonna one more device to pull in, which is the random. Just turn that up. It's a bit strange sounding at the moment. Maybe we'll pull up some envelopes, so that's a 4, and get some kind of wobs or something happening. Cool, that's kind of, I'm going to add some vibrato. I'm quite into this, a really slow kind of rate, like to make it quite quite like the error. Nice, already sounding pretty cool. Maybe some delay. Alright, so far so good. Now, so I've got this playing over 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to create a series of clips, and they're all going to be kind of different note durations. And then I'm going to use follow actions to generate chord patterns with those, and kind of set up some interesting like follow action parameters, and then record the MIDI and record the audio, and maybe set up some further kind of interesting stuff going on in the channel. So I might want a sustain chord that's lasting 2 bars, say. Something like that, you know. And then really I'm just gonna like I wonder if we should do one that's like, I reckon we just should do one. It's 4 bars long. Have it change there, so that's 4 bars on one beat, or sorry, 3 bars on 1 beat. So if you're looking at crotchets or quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got like 13 beats there, and then it's going to change. And then I'm going to halve that, or just do it to 2. as I originally did it there. Half again, maybe just put that here. Half that again. Just duplicate these clips, and maybe I'll halve that there. Maybe I'm going to do like a dotted crotchet now, which is like 1.5 the length of a quarter note. 1 and that kind of cool thing. And then maybe with 2 of those. So it's kind of 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and yeah, that could be quite cool too. I suspect you could probably do the same thing with note lengths and kind of velocity switching in the channel itself, but this is just an easy way to visualize things. Yeah, so we've got that set up. Now I'm going to, let's see if I can remember. It worked quite nicely yesterday, so hopefully we can get. So follow actions. I'm not going to have legato on, keep legato off, and linked is going to stay on, isn't it? Yep. So they're all going to play back their full length. And that's in this bit here, because you can unlink it and then set them to all play after a specific number of beats or measures. So the first one, you might want to play again, and you might want to set that to, well, maybe it's 50-50 and then it plays another, or perhaps even less than that. Maybe it's 40. Actually, for something like this, which is quite long, we'll probably want a low chance that it'll play again. So maybe 20%. And then this one is two beats, 2 bars long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think we'd want that to play again, that to be and go to what other. To play again would be maybe 30% or 25%. Why not? Okay, now this is shorter. I'd say we'll probably want a higher chance this might play again, just because of the tempo of the stuff, and you might want some more interesting chord changes happening. Of course, we can tweak this once we've got it going. So again, or it plays another. So it might go back to the, it's an equal chance of it going to any of the others. So this one, probably want it to do play again, maybe. And go to other. I'll say like quite high, maybe 50-50. We can tweak these, and then I think we'll do the rest of these as quite high chance of playing again. And other. So maybe we do that 45. I think I did the others as that anyway. Did I do that as 45? Yeah, I did. Maybe we'll pull that down to 40, and just check they're all. Yeah, cool. I'll give this a listen. Okay, so I might get rid of that top one. Get rid of the bottom one. High chance you'll play again, then pull that up, the first one, the longer one. And I think these actually, the chance of playing again, we want that really low. We want them to switch to should have these as 0 and they just always play another, so. And same with this one, I'm going to have this as never play again, always go other. Turn that back on. So I'm going to have to give this a chance of playing again, rather than the dotted ones, which I'm just going to always okay, maybe just it needs to be like that. I think that first one's too long really, so get rid of that. Alright, that's getting a bit closer to what I was after. I'm going to just put another random after the chord. So it's add a bit of like random. This thing's mad, this note echo. Can't really, struggling to get it to work. It sounds great on ARPs and stuff like that. Hey Ben, how we doing? Hey Addy. No worries, thanks for saying hello. Yeah, it's quite early here as well for a Sunday morning. I know Ben's got kids, father as well, so he's probably up early. Like me. Yeah. That sounds nice. This is more what I'm after now, I think. I think we can probably add some stuff to this, or maybe we'll just keep it all with an analog for ease. So that error function on analog is quite. You can take it too far sometimes. Maybe we'll try some other little cool effects on that, and then we'll do a bounce and maybe perform a little take. What I did feel after doing this was that for chordal stuff you might want longer progressions rather than shorter loops, because there's kind of more emotion and more drama unfolding. I'll just get making beats of cat. I'd love a shed to make all this. I'd love a composing shed or a music shed at some point in my life. That's the dream. Right, so I'm going to just don't have the interval so long, so maybe we could see what happens. Okay. Just getting a flavour for what this is doing, because I use beat repeat, but it's like... The decay is quite cool. Maybe we'll pull that down. And have it happen a lot quicker. So something like that is probably better, isn't it? Do another one. Make the interval a bit longer. Make the gate a bit longer. And maybe we'll pull the offset up a bit. Something like that could be cool. Pitch decay can work really cool on breaks sometimes. Again, pull that quite low. The bells will start soon as well for the for the church that I live right under. Yeah, I think the bells are going already, so if you can hear bells, don't worry about it, it's alright. Yeah, yes I do, Ben, I do remember doing that. I think I did that on a track which I mixed on stream the other day, Dimensional Resort. I think that was done the same way. So... And I think that might have been your suggestion to chain an arpeggio, so we kind of did a collaboration there. Yeah, I like the insert because it does check, but maybe mix would be quite cool on some of the other ones. Yeah, I think Dimensional Resort. Oh look at this! I was on Ned's channel the other. Let's mix. Just checking how to. I mean, this just looks like I'm stealing his stuff, but he doesn't do it this way. He doesn't do the thing with like follow actions on the clips for generating chords. He just generates like one chord. And I was quite interested in doing the switching. Yeah, this one, Mammoth live stream. So it's got the word mammoth in the title, so it's quite easy to spot. But yeah, Ned on his like IDM sample pack, he does it just like the static chord that stays the same rhythm, and I was quite interested in doing like stabs that are a bit more jazzy in their rhythm. Yeah, that sound like that. It sounded like a person could have played that potentially. I mean, they'd have quite a unique sense of it, a unique ear if they're playing it like that. But Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's the one that you were like, why didn't you change some, get arpeggiators, works really well. I was like, yeah, I'll try that. And then it gave this cool little ARP sound. And then it sounds really good, actually, the mix. I was pretty pleased with the mix down. I mean, as a track, it's slightly kooky and melodic and everything. A bit like my kind of vibe. So what I'm doing here is like making using beat repeat as a gate, as a like random chance gate. Putting it to like a yeah, and then a grain delay, an octave above, with the delay setters to taste. Creates that kind of big might do that thing you were saying with like the mix. That's quite nice, Ben, when you do that. Maybe like a triplet thing. 1, 2, 3. Could even do, I mean, it might get too complicated, but yeah. So you have like a probability rack and then a velocity. Yeah, like, you know, interesting. Just like, sounds like I might have played that if I had a bigger keyboard and was quicker at chord changes, like weird voicings like this. What I'm just working out here is what the probability rack is doing. It's a Ned Rush thing of like switching Quite funny, beat repeats, like even at 10%, they still kick in. You can hear it there. Alright then, cool. So sorry if you can hear church bells. Just like check in on comments. Yeah, the grain delay is excellent. Underused, I'd say. Yeah. Yeah, I love stuff like that. There was a good, what was I doing that was like that? Well, that MIDI echo's really good, Ben. You should check that out. That does similar things, because I think grain delay works in a similar way, you know, like changing the octaves of like a pitch shifting delay. MIDI, what's it called? Note echo. Yeah, maybe I'll do that on some... Is it warm in the shed? Yeah, no echo's cool, man. You got heating in the shed? I hope so. Audio, ARP audio. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to resample these, so... And I'm going to do some automation on the stuff here, just mapping that. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to do that. I am going to LFO this. Let's do some LFO stuff. Cool. Yeah, that's a really good tip. Yo, Jarson, how are you doing? That's a really good idea, Ben. And you can, yeah. So some of the parameters in some of these things, I'm still like a bit sketchy on what they do. So I guess a lot of my process is just trial and error, you know. I mean, the LFO device is extremely useful. I like that as of 11.1 they've put all this stuff in here in the effects. Okay, this will get chaotic if we're not careful, so I don't want the resonance to be going too much here. That might be okay. And I think I'm going to do maybe a random. I like the smooth on this. I think we'll try this to taste. Smooth, 100%. And maybe this will be slower. This is quite... The probability of rack is, because some of these chord changes are quite long in measure, maybe it's not good to try on this one. So how long is this one? 2 beats. So I'd like that to happen more often again. And then again, this is all like a process of trial, of tweaking. And how long is this one? Hang on, so what have I done there? So that's 2 beats. That is quite short. No, that's right, that's 1 measure. 1 beat. That's a dotted. That's 2 dotteds. Maybe we should get rid of the 2 dotteds. Yeah, this is sounding better. So these kind of shorter ones, not the dotted. I probably don't want the dotted to the chance, maybe 10%. Then these longer measure ones, and 2. I don't want them happening as often. I want these guys happening the most, say 50-50. Yeah, thanks Ben. I did that yesterday on this one. It's good for drums as well, doing stuff like that, like breaks and stuff, because you can then just edit and re-record other things. It's funny with these beat repeats, they're only 5%, and yet maybe the percentages stack up when they, because this is happening too often for me. It's always a good, it's a good amount of trial and error of all this stuff, and sometimes I add things in. Maybe I want to bring that choices down a bit, so it's like 3, because I just want like a minor third's worth. I think the live's at 26th of March. I think he was announcing the lineup yesterday, he said. That envelope's a bit too high for me. Quite nice to cross modulate things. Map LFOs to LFOs. But it can be quite chaotic sometimes. Maybe we just want... Alright, that sounds... let's go with that. And I'm just going to sit back and relax while it does its thing, I think. And I think I will keep this up on this. Alright, final tweak, let's just go for it. Do like 16 bars, I think. Let's stop that because I'm just going to split them up, I reckon. It's really a case of like just generating this material and then just seeing how it works. Seeing how it works when you put it and try and play it with other stuff. It's difficult to know what it's going to be like until you've got everything in there. I think I just recorded a full 128 bars for the sake of demonstration. Alright, cool, that's fine. So yeah, we have all the MIDI there. And we have all the audio. And I'm just going to pull this down to 128. Crop that. You'll hear the church bells in full effect at the moment, people. So, glory to God. 6.5. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 lots. Got 8 16-bar loops, and I think 16 might be all right for this type of thing. Yeah, that should be right. Okay. So I've halved that 4 times, was it? And I'm going to slice the new MIDI track by bar, 8 slices, 8 16s. That's what we want. In the sampler, warping off. Let's just check it. Cool. Or we could do 32. So I could do the same. I could get that times that by 2 built in. No. Four 32s. That's right. Let's try it. Let's try it. Sometimes you do. A lot of this is experimentation. Let's just check what that looks like in here. So these would be longer loops of these. I mean, stuff like that's pretty cool. It's just to spark ideas, so let's roll with that, shall we? We've got these nice 4 bars. Producers will know what I'm talking about when I say that some sessions you try these ideas and they seem to work really well, and then other times they're just not, for whatever reason, you can't quite get the same results. But that's good enough. And sometimes I pull these things and I start pulling the loop points around and maybe looping short sections, cropping them in the live set and actually just doing it all in there. Oh, and look, I did some yesterday as well. Should have saved the set. Why didn't I save the set? I was like, I'll just do it all again and recreate it. I think that sounded pretty decent though. I like to put the key because then I know how to transpose it when I'm doing it. A minor, chord stabs. Eight bar, 165, I did this at 8 bar. That's fine. Yeah, church bells are mad. Yeah, and then these ones sound pretty good. Yeah, they sound pretty decent as well. So I think it was that, just adding in a blooming like semiquaver, one and. Maybe that's what I didn't do, add in the final 8th note as it's. Yeah, totally, man. Like I tell you what, I'll show you what I was doing actually. Yeah, that's I'm going to record that as well, and then we can, for demonstrative purposes, maybe make some arps as well. So let's get rid of you now. We've done what we need to do with you. Gonna have to turn these off and just listen to these guys again, just on their own. Playing with the sends now. That sounds a bit more square pusher-esque. Hey, Jumanji. I'll tell you what, like, works pretty well as well, Ben, if you're still on, like, gates and stuff, you know, gating stuff to these effects as well. Like reverbs to drums and stuff, like, I'm just thinking about the stutter thing you were talking about there. Crop that. Right, we're gonna do 32 bars on these. Yeah. You get Ableton's so good for stuff like that, just for like mental cross modulation and stuff. All that business, like connecting, like and side chaining as well. For all. Sometimes they get really elaborate, but then sometimes I'm just like, oh, I just want to put a sample in and you know, just make a tune or something. Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes I'm like, sometimes my mind's in the place to work like that, where I connect. I'm like, oh, I can connect this, that, and this to that, and have this firing off randomly. And what I'd love to do, and I think I get close to it sometimes. I don't, you know, is that you create a set where you kind of like, it's a bit like it's almost like randomly generating stuff, and but it's also sometimes with like randomly generated stuff, it's like. It goes one way and it just does this thing where nice little moments happen, but it's all kind of on a plateau, if you like. And what I like the idea of is that you might get these random things happening, these seeds that are planted or sown, that then they cause these other moments. Random, you know, there's a chance when that happens that the set might get out of control. You know, it might grow into this big thing where like these, you know, certain parameters can cause other random events to happen. And so the set's almost like living in that way. Like there's an element of chance as to where it will go. I guess you can do that with modular. I see people do stuff like that with modular gear, and I wonder if it does develop into these mad things they didn't know what, you know, how it was going to work out. Yeah. So do you reckon, like, it's definitely capable of doing stuff like that, is it, Ben? Right, I'm gonna, yeah, balance these out. There was a really good Brian Eno album recently with another guy, and I can't remember his name now. But it was like this kind of generative thing that just went like, you know, I think it just randomly sounded like it grew. Nice, that sounds amazing. Did I do 16s for that? I don't think I did I? I did 32 bars as well. Capture the moments, yeah. Circuit Happy ML2, that sounds cool. What's that, Ben? A modular thing? If you look it up. Circuit. Oh, cool. It's a versatile clock generator that can be synchronized to Ableton Link. One day, that's the dream. Alright, so we've got plenty of chord stabs in there, and I did stuff like this while... I could just chuck all this stuff in there. Got that cool group. Yeah, so what would you say, like, I'll show Ben what I was talking about. So I got these like this electro break 4, and then I think 8 was a more staccato version of it. Timing's gone on that. And then I'm going to make these fill every follow action, legato, link. Legato, follow action. They're going to go back to the first. And they're going to do that after. Is that right? Nice. Cool, so they're just going, yeah, that's what I want. And I want these. They're going to fill on every fourth bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, fill. Nice. Yeah, cool. That sounds pretty good. SH101, nice. Yeah, Ned Rush got an original one he was playing with, didn't he? Yeah, that's a good shout. Someone lent me the Behringer 303 clone, and I was well into that. I am well into that, I should say. SH1. Is that the Roland one then? Isn't it? No, it's why I'm saying clone. They made it. Is it this one, Ben? SH01. Cool. I guess because over the last few years, having kids and that, and very limited time, I kind of found myself. Is it good? Yeah. I mean, it always baffled me when I first got into all this stuff and first got into synths, back in 2007 or something. That why don't they make the good stuff anymore? Surely they can make the analog synths they used to, because it was all digital, it was all poorly, cheaply, the Roland SH201, was it? Which was my first synth. Yeah. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It was maybe you might be a bit behind, I might be a bit ahead of you, Ben, but yeah, the SH201. Let's find it. And it was great for I made some nice patches on it, some nice kind of did pads and stuff, because pads are never this one. Yeah. I remember lusting after this, gear lusting after that. I made some decent patches on it, and it was a great introduction. But it always baffled me that why don't they make it? Everyone talks about analog like it's the holy grail, and yet no one makes it. I don't even It just wasn't. It seemed to really blow up in the mid, in the early 2010s, all the synthesizer stuff, and I guess more and more people getting into making, more and more young people getting into making music with computers, because everyone has a computer. Yeah, they have. Yeah. They've cloned everything, haven't they? Cloned me. Behringer. MS101, is that what it's called? Behringer MS101. Yeah. Oh look, that's got the little bit. Didn't have a keytar bit you could use. Keytar attachment. MS1. I know Square Pusher used one, didn't he? Early days. Probably still does. I saw him when I saw him. Didn't like it. Fair enough. It's got an arpeggiator on it as well, built in. That's cool. Yeah, but I was saying that, having kids, I just got so used to making stuff in the box when I was out and about, and I got on my lunch breaks and stuff like that. Right. Post-portamento, yeah. Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I got so used to just making stuff in the box and like became quite self-contained. And I think if the channel continues to grow and um, more there's just more and more interest in it, then I'll probably look to experiment with stuff like that and maybe try like more hardware stuff, because I do have some bits of hardware, just not particularly brilliant stuff, but yeah, it wouldn't be like it wouldn't be something that I'd like to explore more hardware stuff, maybe making more sample packs with hardware and stuff like that, because I have sample, and maybe this is what I should have done. I should have made some packs out of this, out of my sample, like a sample pack I'm going to release of the Wave Station, called Wave Station. You ever use one of those, Ben? Called Wave Station. I kind of like all that stuff, that like digital vaporwave stuff. Cool. I still need to get like, whenever I see CV out, gate out, I'm like, don't. Yeah, I need to practice using stuff like that. Cool. That's like a Korg, isn't it? Has that got all the Wave Station sounds on it? Yeah, so we sampled my friend's Wave Station and I made a load of patches from it. All the pad sounds and kind of stuff like that. All the atmospheric stuff. We got some stuff off Cytex as well and put it on it. That seems like high level synth hardcore appreciation, loading patches off Cytex from the internet. Great for jungle and stuff like that. Oleg spam. VWAR.life. Bye bye. Move. Yeah, cool. There we go. So just a bit of a random session, making some art. Well, I've got these art things now. See if anything comes of these. Even if it's just to be like, no, I definitely don't. Fair enough. Cool. Don't think I'm going to. Am I going to save this? Maybe I'll just save the set and I'll give it the. Save it my live sets thing. A live to yeah. I used to make loads of templates. I don't make anywhere near as much now. 22. 3, 13. We'll call this live set. Live set prep. Live set prep. 165. Cool. So it's in there if I want to go back over it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day there. I really should get another camera so people can see when I'm playing stuff, because I think that's quite important. Because I do a bit. I control the laptop, I control the stuff on the APC, and I control I've got a little keyboard here as well. And it's just a bit. All you can see is my head bobbing about. Yeah, cool. All right. Well. Generator folder. What's that? Let's have a look. Oh, in here. I'll just look up your thing, Ben, and then we'll. What's it in here? Oh, I see what you're saying. Maybe call it that. MIDI generator. I think that was the one that Elephant did a video on some cool MIDI generation. I mean, essentially, I'm kind of riffing off stuff that's done. There's not. Yeah. Yes. Should have done, shouldn't I? Next time. Yeah, I've made MIDI generator stuff before. Sometimes it's a bit like. I'm not sure how to save stuff and everything, and I over time I've embraced the mess, the chaos of it all. I'm quite organised really with my music. It's probably more so than anything else in my life. But yeah, it's the most organised. I'm really quite anal about everything, just because I think if you're really tight and you know exactly what you're doing, you don't have to think about stuff. It gets to the point like if you play an instrument, you play the guitar or something, you play the piano, you don't think C, I'm going to play a C every time you play a C. It becomes just you second. There's no dithering between you wanting to do something. Thank you. I think if you're organised and you have a system for everything, you never have to think about what you're going to do with it. It removes the decision-making process and frees up your creative energy, I think. I know exactly how stuff flows in kind of my my creative workflow. And I guess that's why I wanted to, demystify the creative process was something I was quite keen on showing people. Because I never have to think, where did I save this? When did I last work on this? What version was I working on? there's just a set system, and everything flows in that system. And again, this is a Mike Monday thing completely, and his stuff's really good, and I'm just using his system. But I've taken that thinking and applied it across the board with stuff, and even just really simple things like saving your stuff with a codifier, HS, AW, BH. Benson Hedges. Yeah, so even I think it's the small changes that add up over time. Like, right, every patch I create, I'm gonna save it, and I'm just gonna save it loosely, and it's just gonna be in a file, and I'm gonna prefix it whatever your initials are, and over time, you build this stuff up. If I put in AW underscore does it have any sounds or instruments? There's all these things that I've just created over time and just saved. All this stuff. All my own I used to be scared of like saving samples. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, man, it's like can you? I think sometimes like music is like protected or put on a pedestal as this like it's a creative thing, and you don't let it flow, and like, oh, it's just But I treat it like a job. I kind of I show up every day and I do my work, and I have the set times of day when I do my work, and like I don't go out, I don't sabotage my work. I kind of, if I'm planning on being in the studio or planning on working at a specific time, then I won't sabotage that by drinking the night before or something like that. I've largely like cut all that stuff out just because it's kind of having my kids like refocus. Right, I definitely want to give this a good crack, while I'm still alive. and that music is just like anything else. It can be, of course, the creation of stuff and like getting out of your own way and kind of channeling your creative energy. That is a bit mystical, probably based on everything you've ever heard in your life's experiences, but something does happen where there's nothing, and you put something and you do it, and and eventually people know it's you. It's like you can kind of, and it's just there's nothing. It's just sound. There's no physical, there's no body to it. That's the magic of music to me, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Bob Ross. I think, yeah, yeah. I used to, kind of like it's like when guitarists or there can be this mindset of like, I don't know, blues or something, or yeah, electric guitar. Not wanting to learn or understand too much theory because you want to play by feel. But to me, like, the more I understand about music in any regard, the more it enlightens the rest of my experience of it. Yeah, yeah, totally. Yes. What an attentive student, Ben. um, yeah. I'm the kind of splurge, the like the creative work happens, and I just let whatever happen, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, and I don't worry about what I've done. I don't think about it. I don't attach my self-worth to it. I don't think I'm crap if it's gone bad. Sometimes I do still, but I try and just let it be like a cleansing, if you like, creative cleansing. Then I listen to and back to the track outside of the door, a way as like a separate person, as if you were like showing it to a mate, as if a mate is showing you a tune, you can immediately hear what it might need, you know, because you're not emotionally invested in it. And then mixing and all that stuff. You know, it's only really when I'm certain I'm or get a feel for where I'm at the end of the track, then I'll start the mix down. But all the creative work happens away from that stuff, really. And that's my process, and it works. And I've finished music with it. So, you know, if you finish tracks, then whatever you're doing was right for that particular track. Yeah, I finish music pretty consistently now, and it's because I kind of do this. I have this pretty trusted system. Bob Ross of Jungle, that's what I wanted to call myself for a bit. Yeah, thank you, Ben. Thank you very much. I've spent a lot of time thinking about it, probably far too much. The creative actor's always intrigued me, really, you know, especially as I've got older, more and more so, you know, just like, yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Bob Ross of Jungle. I thought about like making something in Photoshop of him, like on Ableton. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, cool. Yeah, all right. Well, I'll say goodbye. Thanks for checking in this morning, Ben. Enjoy the rest of your morning in the shed with the cats. Addy, Jarson, Jumanji briefly. All right. I'll say goodbye and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. See you later.